Another sign of the day of judgment, ظهور الفحش والتفحش. Subhanallah. Haram will be just easy in front of the eyes of people. Swearing is normal. Talking about al-fuhush in Arabic is mentioning the private parts and talking about the private parts and talking about sex and opening the people. The Prophet ﷺ said, Al-mu'min laysa bil-fahish al-badhi', that the believer is not a fahish that talks about things like that. And talks about what goes on between a man and his wife, or what goes on between a wife and her husband, what goes on in bed, what goes on in this and that. This is all fuhush. These days it's just normal. These days it's something that people like to get together and talk about. Hatta subhanallah, they even provided this online sex line for people to start talking about it. This is signs of the day of judgment. Subhanallah, look, the Prophet ﷺ is talking about it 1400 years ago to tell us, look, this is signs of the day of judgment. People talking about it. Females just get together to talk about, males get together just to talk about things, what goes on between this and that. Subhanallah, these are signs of the day of judgment. Seeing the munkar, seeing the fuhush in your eyes. Subhanallah, for example, drugs. At our time, 10, 15 years ago, it was something big. Look at it now, it's something normal. It just became normal. Subhanallah, a female not wearing a hijab. 20 years ago in Australia, Australians never accepted a female not covering her head. Look at now, Muslims is normal. It's all fuhush. Fuhush just spreading among people, where people just look at it and that's it. It's normal to them. It's normal to them. All the haram, it's normal. A son and his father will be sitting down on a couch in front of the TV, and a man and a woman kissing or doing whatever they're doing, and the father and the son just looking at it. It's normal. Very normal. So that's very simple and easy. Subhanallah, this is signs of the day of judgment too. Remember, when this happens, Allah will tell you, wake up on yourself. The day of judgment is nearby. Another sign from the day of judgment, qati'atul rahim. Qati'atul rahim is not visiting your cousins, your brother, your sister, your son, your father. This is qati'atul rahim. Breaking the links between you and your family. The Prophet ﷺ, when Jibreel asked him, he told him, وَأَن تَلِدَ الْأَمَةُ رَبَّتَهَا. The mother will give birth to her master. That's a hadith. One of the signs of the day of judgment. The mother will give birth to her master. Her own son will be a master on his mom. He'll start abusing his mom. He'll start assaulting his mom. Who treats his mom like she's the worst one on earth. He swears at her. How many times this happens? How many times I get calls, people call me, mother call me, my son hit me on my eye, my son bashed me, my son threw this at me. Subhanallah, these are signs of the day of judgment. This is subhanallah, kuffar, before the Nabi used to do it. Now the kuffar and the Muslims do it. Disrespecting your parents, looking down to your parents, treating your mum and your dad like the worst people on earth. Wallah al-azim, you give respect. You give more respect to an animal on the street than your parents these days. Full on disrespect to your parents. That mother that stayed the night taking care of you and looking after you, look what you do at the end, you just figure out. And look how the Prophet ﷺ describes it. وَأَن تَلِدَ الْأَمَةُ رَبَّتَهَا. The mother will give birth to her own master. So the son or the daughter will grow up, and then he's a master, and then she's a master on her or his mother. Another sign from the day of judgment, and inshallah I'll leave the rest till next week. انتشار الربا وأكل الحرام. The spread of interest and usury among people, and eating from the haram. Look, subhanallah, look how it is now. Just interest, taking interest, earning interest, dealing with interest, something that you can't run away from now. Taking interest from a bank is something so normal. It's easier than buying a milk from a corner shop. Taking interest, earning interest, buying and selling interest, loans and that, it's more than normal. It's just spread among the community and the Muslim community, unbelievable. And eating from the haram that the Prophet ﷺ said will come to a time where people will just earn money, or take money, or eat anything, and they don't even ask whether it's halal or haram, just don't care. Okay, is this halal? Who cares? Is this haram? Who cares? Mainly it's in my pocket, I'll be happy. Okay, is this food halal? Especially now. Okay, you go into a restaurant. Okay, is that meat halal? Who cares? Did they cook it in the correct oil? In the halal oil? Who cares? Does it have the halal ingredient? Who cares? Just who cares now? Why should we care? Subhanallah, I'll tell you care because the day of judgment is nearby. This is one of the signs of the day of judgment that Allah Azza wa Jalla is telling you, wake up on yourself, the day of judgment is nearby. And the last sign of the Day of Judgment is taking the mosque as a tourism, where too much decorations will be in the mosque. The mosque of the Prophet ﷺ was a very simple structure of just palm poles and leaves of a palm tree with just the sand. And that's how the mosque of the greatest man was. And that's the greatest mosque that the Prophet ﷺ mentioned. At one prayer in that mosque is 1,000 prayers. It was a very simple mosque. These days, alhamdulillah, it's true this is decoration. It should be more plain. But you go to other mosques, subhanallah, you're going into a museum. You look up all these decorations around you, all these decorations that when you're praying, instead of you saying Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, you just look and say, what color is this and what color is that? What does this say? What does this say? Subhanallah, the devotion in the prayer has been taken away because of the decoration of the mosque. And the other sign is that the Prophet ﷺ said, يَتَّخِذُ النَّاسِ الْمَسْجِدَ مُرُورًا حَتَّى لَا يُصَلِّ فِيهِ الْمَرُ رَكْعَتَيْن. The people will start taking the mosque as just pass through. They just go through the mosque, okay, and they don't even pray. People just get into the mosque, look around, wallah, it's a nice mosque, oh, wallah, it's a nice dome, it's a nice mihrab, it's a nice microphone, yeah, and walk out. They don't even pray 2 rak'ah. And subhanallah, how much is that is happening? How many mosques around the world, especially in Europe, and especially in Spain, and Greece, and Italy, where the Muslim, these countries were under the Islamic state, how many of them now turn into museums? Masjid Qurtaba Mosque in, I don't know what they call in English, but I know it's called in Arabic, Qurtaba Mosque, one of the greatest mosques in the history of Islam, where it graduated thousands of great scholars. Now it's a museum. It's not even a place that, they don't even call it a mosque anymore, they call it a museum. People just come and look around. It's a museum. This is signs of the Day of Judgment. And subhanallah, there's a lot more signs, inshallah. I'll leave that till next week. We'll talk more. I've left the minor signs, the major minor signs. I call it the major minor signs. For next week, we'll talk about it. And inshallah, the week after, inshallah, we'll talk about the major signs, which will take at least 2 to 3 lessons. We'll be talking about Mahdi, Dajjal, Ya'juj and Ma'juj, Isa. And then we'll talk about